Good evening. Hope everybody having a good day. What's up, Kimberly Moore? What's up, Uncle Bruh? Janice Holyfield. How everybody doing? Hope everybody having a blessed day. I just want to come on and anybody watch this video, you can leave a comment under here. You don't have to text. I'm having a hard time. Having a real hard time returning phone calls and text messages because it takes all day to do the phone calls that I have to do. I have to do a lot of Zoom calls because a lot of things got behind and I had to cancel a lot of business that I had to do. And now I'm doing conference calls and Zoom calls that got pushed back after everything. And so if you text me or if you have called me and I haven't returned the text or returned the call, I apologize. And then sometimes, even when I do get a moment, I just can't think. Sometimes I just need to get off a Zoom call, have to lay down and take a nap, or just go sit in the closet and just feel what I feel. Or I just get on the phone and have a conversation with my mother, who I've been talking to every single day. You know, unfortunately, it's been a little, and I understand, I get it. You know, some people gonna feel how they feel. You haven't called them back, you haven't texted them back, or you couldn't let them be what they felt like they needed to be for you in your time. I get it. I just want to say that I'm doing, if I didn't call you back or I shouldn't even be having to explain myself. Because I had to deal with some cemetery business today that I didn't want to deal with, and then other business concerning, my son I have to deal with, along with the hurt and the grief. Comedy business along with the hurt and the grief. Radio business along with the hurt and the grief. I got another son that's grieving that I got to comfort. I got a daughter that's a brand new mother that I never seen this sad. And just to look in her face, she's not the same. And then trying to comfort my 75-year-old mother. And I'm having to come on here and apologize and explain myself because, it's some friends, family members, people feel a certain kind of way about something. I'm just saying, I'm doing the best I can. Trying to smile just because you see me with New Edition or with whoever doing an interview or on the radio being funny, doing my job, that don't mean that I got a deep sadness in the pit of my stomach. That don't mean that I'm not having anxiety. That don't mean that I don't have butterflies in my stomach. That don't mean that I want to step away from whatever I'm doing and go in a room and just fucking fall on the floor and kick and scream. I'm doing the best I can. I can't call everybody back. I actually appreciate all the text messages. I done got 200 text messages a day that's saying, I'm just checking on you. So what happens is when you respond to the text message, then they're gonna text again. So 200 becomes 400. You know, I'm just trying to I just can't. Everybody, you know, trying to find the right word because I'm grateful and appreciative to the love, but when it gets to a point where people start getting mad, I have to address it. The people that come on Facebook and leave messages like, I'm glad to see you smiling. I'm glad you're around people that you're comfortable around. I'm glad to see you out having dinner with your friends. I'm happy to see you smiling. That comes from a genuine place. Because I'm sure everybody that went to Woodlawn, or every fraternity brother, or every family member, or every person I grew up with would like to be there. They heart is broke as well. But I can't spread myself thin, you know, to everybody. I got family members that's suffering that I haven't even had a chance to sit down with, that have taken the lost hard also, that I haven't even had a chance to sit down and have a conversation with. And just the fact that I get emails, text messages, like people feeling some kind of way. Feeling some kind of way about what? I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything. But one thing I wasn't going to have, and I have to say this, man, Black, I love my people, but sometimes we can be overbearing. And I want somebody to just kind of look up the word overbearing. You know, one thing I know how to do, man, is just when somebody go through something, I know how to be there, and I be there as much as they want me to be. And then sometimes I know how to be there and stand in the back, because my motive is just to be there. And if you see me, and if you don't see me, you know, I'll let you know later on, next time I see you, that, hey, I was there. Everything was really nice. Oh, shit, I didn't know you was there. Yeah, I was there. I was back there. I was in the back. I was praying for you. That's genuine and sincere. Some of the only people I wanted to be around was, for some reason, was some of my male friends. I wanted to, you know, George and Ty. I definitely wanted to be around Johnny. He buried his son. I wanted to be around Nathaniel Goree. He buried his son. I wanted to be around Mayor Randall Wolfen's mother. I had conversation with her. She buried her son. I wanted to talk to people like Miss Braxton, because she lost her daughter. Because losing a sibling or a mother or a father or a grandfather or a grandmother is one thing. And I done seen enough death to last a lifetime. But God dang, I ain't never experienced no shit like this. This is just like I'm literally trying to learn how to function and learn how to live with something. Jumping on the radio, I got a job to do, because it don't make no sense not to be on the radio, because laying in the bed ain't gonna do nothing, but you laying there thinking about all of this shit. When radio actually gives you a break from it, and it gives you a relief from it, and you can laugh and tell some jokes and laugh at some jokes and have a good time for 4 hours. You kind of break it up. And then after you get off the radio, it's back on you. And sometimes during the show, even on the radio, feel like somebody's stomping you in the pit of your stomach. I don't even want to respond to certain stuff or whatever, because I'm so disappointed, and I just, everybody I saw, I tried to hug them. I didn't want to do a lot of hugging at the funeral because I didn't want people getting goddamn makeup all over my clothes. So I was dapping people up. I was boom, boom, fist bumping. You know, them heart to heart, breast to breast hug. I couldn't give that to everybody. It was 1,500, couple of thousand people there. Maybe, I don't know. Can give everybody that personal, warm, long, rocking from side to side hug. I had to do some fist bumps and keep moving. That don't mean I was acting funny. It don't. Wasn't trying to be different. I couldn't come to the repast because I had a repast set up for close family and some friends. I left the cemetery. I came home to change clothes because I didn't want to drive all the way back to Faith Chapel. Now, mind you, I was in a lot of pain that day because a week before Brandon died, like, I had surgery. So I really couldn't cry or whatever because I'm sitting up there in stitches, like literally in stitches. I had surgery. I had a doctor's appointment today. So I'm sitting there the entire time of my son's funeral service in pain. I was at the funeral home that Friday for 6 hours. I wasn't gonna, Brandon's mom and her family and me and my family, we weren't gonna leave because we didn't want people coming in the funeral home with them camera phones taking pictures. And people that did come in with cameras, we made them put away. So we, from the moment we were there from 12 to 6 hours. No food, 2 bottles of water. Greeting everybody, hugging everybody, talking to everybody. Thank you for coming, thank you for coming, thank you for coming. And my kids, and Brenda's family, and Tara's family. Doing the best we can, trying to be respectful and nice and accommodating to everyone. That within itself was some weird shit. Weird at funerals bring out the weirdest people. Weird people say weird shit to you. People, I don't even want to get into the details of some of the weird stuff that happened that the day before, which just brought more stress. After the funeral service, I was in pain. I needed like a ibuprofen or some kind of anti-inflammatory. So I walked down the funeral procession and I found somebody that would actually take me home. So my uncle took me home. When I got home, my goal was to come home and change clothes and put on something more comfortable, change the bandages that I had on from the surgery, and go to the repast. But when I got here, when I was getting ready to do that, my granddaughter came. So I said, okay. She came, and when I walked through that front door, she was jumping up and down. She was happy. She was excited. She came in, and she was ready to play. And I said, okay, I can play with her for about 30 or 40 minutes. And then I got to leave and go to the repast. Got to playing with her upstairs, downstairs. I'm in pain and I'm grieving. Upstairs, downstairs, down by the pond, pushing her on a swing. She having the time of her life. She always good about when it's time to go. When her mom says time to go, she always, okay, bye-bye, bye-bye, Papa. Right? Got to the front door. For the first time, she wasn't having it. That was the first time she ever had any separation issue from me. She said, no. She said, I don't want to go. And she was finna start crying. So I got to choose between going to the repast or staying at home playing with my granddaughter on the day that she buried her dad and the day I buried my son. For some reason, she didn't want to separate because her mother said, I'll bring her back tomorrow. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to go to the repast. You bring her back tomorrow, but the baby wasn't hearing it. And I'm sitting up here like, there wasn't a hard decision for me. I'm going to stay here. I would have pushed her on that goddamn swing until the sun went down, until it came back up. It didn't matter because I didn't care about nothing else. I didn't care about nothing else but her happiness. That's what I cared about. So I called the event coordinator, Caprino. I said, I need for you to get with 2 or 3 of my family members and 2 or 3 of my friends and find out who all of my close friends and family is and tell them to come to the house because I can't come to the repast because my granddaughter don't want to leave, and I'm not about to separate from her. So she did, and people came. I didn't invite or disinvite anybody. They found who they thought was close friends and family or whatever, especially the ones that came from Virginia, Atlanta, Detroit, who wanted to come out of town. I wanted an opportunity to see them because I know my people that live in Birmingham, I could see them later or whatever. I just couldn't have everybody over that day. It was maybe 30, 35, 40 people maybe. People came and they ate, and my granddaughter played until she wore herself out. And once she wore herself out, she was ready to go. By then I had company. People was over and had a good time. They played cards, what have you. I didn't care if I go to a repast or not anyway because I just wasn't in the mood for a big crowd, and repasses are depressing to me anyway. So if anybody felt slighted or felt like whatever you felt, I apologize. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I apologize if anybody. And then I'm gonna say this. When people going through stuff, you can't assign yourself to somebody. Unless you have to give people the space to ask you, hey, I really need you to be right here with me through this process. But you can't assign yourself to nobody and attach yourself and I'm with you now. Okay, I appreciate it, but listen, I need my space. One thing I can't stand at a funeral is a bunch of damn ushers being overbearing with them damn fans, and every time you shed a tear, they gotta clean it. Like, give me a couple of Kleenex. Listen, give me my space. Let me cry, let me grieve, let me get it out. I don't like people crowding me like that. Assigning themselves. Like once I say, hey, I'm good. Let me cry. I'm good. Don't come back over here. I'm good. You know, I would, you know, stuff like that. When my sister came over, that made me comfortable. When my uncle came over, that made me comfortable because these are people that I slept in the same bed with, whatever. You know, people that I have a certain, because they hurt and grieving too, and I needed that moment with them because that was a huge lot. I can't freaking explain it. I shouldn't have to explain it. I went and have my whole family over my house, sitting up in here like they waiting for something. The Sunday that it happened, I just needed to sit down and think because I don't want to die myself. I felt like my heart beat was off. I felt everything felt off. I felt some kind of way. I just needed. And the way I am, I just kind of compartmentalize everything and I spread everything out. I don't do good with a bunch of stuff in a small space. I got friends that I haven't even seen and talked to yet that just been in the distance and been in prayer and been in the cut. You know, hey man, we with you. And eventually I had that Sunday, I probably had about 400 or 500 text messages. And I haven't even been able to respond to everybody. The calls that I'm doing now are phone calls. I got bagged up in work and decisions have to be made about the calendar for this year and shows and flights and hotel rooms and this and got to do this and that and arrangements and college stuff with my kids and graduation stuff and grandparenting stuff and final arrangement stuff and I hate my friend Marvin took a goddamn picture at when we met up and ate last night because that got people feeling like, well, why you couldn't meet and sit down and eat with us? A lot of times shit just be spontaneous while you in the mood to do it because we were sitting there eating and talking, but after about 10 minutes, I was ready to go, man, because my brain started spinning, my heart started feeling a certain way. But now you ask friends to come meet you for dinner, and 10 minutes into it, you're ready to go because you're starting to feel sad on the inside. So your moods is up, down, laugh, joke, post something funny, post a picture of your son because that's what you're feeling. Post something funny. Post a Kevin Samuels video. Post this and do that. And up and down, up and down, up and down. And it ain't even been 30 days. And now I got to explain myself because people feel a certain kind of way. And it went, I started getting notes like that. I started getting 9 and 10 notes and emails and shit from 2 weeks ago. We came all the way from such and such, and we didn't even get to see you. You need to learn how to make like, you wouldn't fucking believe if I show you my inbox, your mouth would drop. Shouldn't have to explain nothing. I didn't even get to hug Tamika Felder. And that's who I really want to hug. That's one of the things I remember walking in that church, looking into the eyes of Tamika Felder and the Felder family, knowing that they went through that shit with when Kevin died. I did get to talk to Missy though, but I'm gonna find her and go and spend a day with her together because that's our bond. She lost a son. I didn't get to talk to Delana, who just buried her son probably 2 months ago. One of the kids that was killed in Virginia, and just other friends of mine that have suffered a loss. It's just a whole different club. This ain't your grandmama dying and your granddaddy dying. This ain't none of that. My granddaddy died. I was sad or whatever, but I didn't feel like nobody was kicking me in my stomach every 3 minutes. Laying down on the couch and in the house, you want to go somewhere. You want to go to the club. You want to go to a cigar bar. I want to go to the Stardome because that's the only place I'm going to go to at the Stardome. And you want to go, but at the same time, you don't want to go. You want to sit down and think and process. And it's like your brain is just on overload, ADHD. I don't know what to say. Only thing I will say this. God is good. My grandma used to always say God is a heart fixer and a mind regulator. I was able to have a conversation with my mom on the phone today and just talk about God's goodness and talk about how we feel and how hurt we feel, and not a tear came out of her eyes and not a tear came out of mine. Just able to communicate my feelings without breaking down crying. I am freaking devastated. It hasn't even been a month, and I'm sitting and I got to read certain kind of stuff today, and I was gonna reply. I'm not replying to any of that stuff. But I do want to say, if anybody felt slighted, I apologize, because Lord knows it was not intentional. I'm not even thinking about that kind of stuff. I'm just going on, man. Man, if you ain't lost, if you ain't had that kind of loss or whatever, if you ain't seen what I seen, I can't unsee what I saw. Let me just say that. Let me just say that by the grace of God, I'm not down in Tuscaloosa at Bryce considering what I saw with my own eyes that I can't get out of my head. How about that? I can't unsee it. I can't unsee what I saw. That within itself. Man, my mind ain't right now. I can't tell you, driving in a car, how many exits I missed, how many times I done drove home in 1 month and passed my own house. I can't tell you how many times I done turned up in the wrong driveway. looking for my glasses and I got them on, looking for my cell phone and on it. Can't match up shoes and socks. Had to cancel comedy shows because I don't even know how to perform anymore. I'm scared to go on stage because it's a pink elephant in the room. I don't even know how I feel. How am I going to perform? I got shows coming up that's booked and tickets are sold. How am I going to figure out how to walk on stage and tell some jokes? I was able to do it when my granddad died, and I did it when my grandmother died, but this different. And going to sleep in pain every night. Mental pain and body pain. Had surgery a week prior to. Therapy. I don't want to make nothing about me or whatever. And I will also say I did set some boundaries for some relatives. I set some boundaries because I didn't want it to be too much, because a lot of that stuff, and people have good hearts and people have really, really good intentions. But sometimes your good heart and your good intention and you really, really mean well probably was a little too much from so many people. Not the average. I'm a public figure, so you know, folks, it ain't. I just can't. It just was some of it. It got to be too much, and I had to space it out and spread it out a little bit. I spread everything out so I can function and so I can think. If I didn't return a call or my phone stay on silent, I never answer the phone. You shouldn't up and call nobody anyway, but I don't answer my phone. You can text me and I'll text you back, get to the point or whatever. But you know, you can leave all your comments on here. Don't text my phone. I'm okay. But I came on here to literally just apologize to anybody that felt slighted on that Friday and Saturday. The only thing I was concerned with was my granddaughter, who lost her dad. That was his only daughter. And trying to comfort my kids and my mother. And that was my only goal. And my other kids that I raised, my TJ and Terrell, you know, Brandon was their big brother. They came into our home when their dad died. So Brandon was the older. He was a big brother to them. They sad. Craig and Journey, you know, they sad. Brandon was a big brother to them and my kids. And my youngest son, who already dealing with depression, anxiety, and in college, a senior in college, and on the basketball team, and have to take medication to keep him balanced. Worried about him was just gonna make him or take him over the top. Trying to manage that. Watching him cry like that. All I can do is apologize. All I can do is apologize. If anybody felt slighted. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say today. I love and appreciate everybody. One side of you want to go out and do something because it's Friday night. trying to figure out how to make my mom have a special birthday. Tomorrow she'll be 75. This a lot. If I did or did not do enough or hug enough or whatever, I apologize. Charge it to my mind and not my heart. I love everybody. But the difference between a lot of folks and myself, I just know more people. I just know more people. Probably 10 times more people than the average person. Not just in Birmingham, in Mississippi, Atlanta, Dallas, South Florida. I got a whole church in South Florida. I got a whole church family in Fort Lauderdale. I got a whole church family in Dallas, Texas. I go to Friendship West. I go to Mount Olive in Fort Lauderdale. I go to Faith Walkers in Birmingham. I'll always be a member of First Baptist Kingston where I grew up. And I go to Mount Zion in Nashville. I'm a member of all these different churches, SCLC, Omega Psi Phi, NAACP. Bruhs, I can't answer all the bruhs. I can't get with all the bruhs. I can't. I'm one person. We even trying to respond to all the people that sent flowers and stuff. We trying to respond, trying to say thank you, we trying. So tell everybody that from Cross Tent to Kingston, to Woodlawn, to Alabama State, Ski, Frat Brothers, cool ass sorors that I know, and relatives, family members and relatives, that I apologize. Just doing the best that I can, just asking everybody to just pray for me. And that's it. Now I kind of wish I'd have had my ass on stage. Give me something to do. But I just got to lay down for a minute and process. Yep. So, if you sent the email, if you sent the text message, or whatever, just give me some time. But if you leave a message on here, or whatever, Facebook kind of helped me kind of compartmentalize and put stuff together. You don't even have to leave a message on Messenger. You can put it right here. I'll go back and sit there and read it. So, what up, Terrence B. Scott? Yeah, I'm about to get some rest. I'm gonna lay down and watch CNN. I got some stuff recorded that I'm gonna watch, and I'll probably be and my best friend on here, Gerald, that I didn't even get to. I don't even think Gerald came over to the house. Gerald, I always appreciate you, but I think I remember I did see you at this, at the service, and had a chance to hug you and stuff. But just know that my mind ain't. I'm not myself. My mind ain't right. I can't unsee what I saw. I saw some stuff that I probably thought was going to give me some closure that I should not have seen. And I'm not okay. I don't know. Just everybody just apologize to anybody for me that felt, because I'm not going to, because it's a side of me that's mad, right? That's not really mad but disturbed, and I just don't want to respond wrong. Because I know what my heart is. I know where my heart is. I know what my intentions are. I know what my intentions have always been. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, because sometimes when you're going through this shit, your anger, whatever piss you off, you be really pissed off. Everything is sensitive to you. So sometimes it's just best not to say stuff, because I just feel a certain kind of way. Never even got around to grieving for my nephew who died, who was raised with Brandon. When I did 106 in Park in 2004, I did 106 in Park to promote the new season of BET Comic View. I bought 3 plane tickets, one for me, one for my nephew Ron, and one for Brandon. And we flew to New York. We stayed at the W Hotel right there on Times Square. And we got there and we walked around. I don't even think I had a video camcorder or something. Or maybe I took some pictures with an old cell phone. And took pictures at Times Square, took them to the Hershey store and all these different places. We went and got a slice of pizza, and they wanted to eat it on the street and look at all the people pass by. We was in New York City. They were so excited. Woke up the next morning, we went down to the lobby, we ate breakfast, then we got dressed. And we go over to the set where they shoot 106 in Park, where AJ and Free was the host at the time. So the whole purpose for me being on there was to promote the 2004 upcoming season of BET's Comic View, because I was the host again. And I was about to go on stage, so they placed Ron and Brandon in the audience. I'll never forget it. And I could look from behind shit, I could see them sitting in the audience. And they said, Ricky, you got 7 minutes to go on stage. So they was interviewing somebody or something. I think they went to commercial break. And I said, okay, we're going to go to commercial break. Up next, we got Rickey Smiley. My cell phone rang. And it was my grandmother's number. It was 849-7385. I said, hello? She said, hey, Ricky, this Miss Lockhart. Miss Lockhart lived across the street from my grandmother. I said, yes, ma'am, Miss Lockhart, how you doing? She said, I'm doing fine. And I'm thinking, like, why is Miss Lockhart calling me from my grandmother's number? She said, are you sitting down? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, no, I'm good though. What's wrong? She said the paramedics came. The paramedics was called because your grandmother was sick had gotten sick and she didn't make it. That was her exact words. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm fine." She said, I said, "Okay, I'll call you back." And I hung up the phone. I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Rickey Smiley." Right after I hung up from her, maybe like a couple of minutes later, I was being introduced to go on 106 in Park to promote the new season of BET Comic View. And I'm sitting up there and I'm talking to AJ and Free, looking at them like, I'm talking to them, I'm answering the question, trying to be funny because I know I got to promote the show and this is a big deal. And I said, I want to give a shout out, you know, to my boys. I got my boys in the audience. I got Ron and Brandon sitting right there in the audience. And so we had to fly home. We had to fly from New York to Cincinnati and change planes. And my son was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Listen, I said, I just want to let you know that Mama T," that's what I would call my grandmama, Mama T, the one that's on this picture right here, this one. I said, "Mama T is with God. She passed away, okay?" They was looking sad. I said, "Go ahead and pack your bags. We're going to try to make it to the airport." They found us an earlier flight. Went to Cincinnati, flew to Cincinnati. I didn't want to cry in front of them, so I went over to a payphone in a phone booth. They had phone booths. And I went in a phone booth and I just cried quietly. Came back out, they was looking kind of like, you know, I don't know, maybe they was 11 or 12. I don't know how old he was. And the three of us flew back. And just to think that I would outlive both of them has passed away. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm gonna need some time and I'm gonna need some therapy. Don't let the jokes, don't text me. Don't let the jokes and stuff fool you. It's part of the job. Because guess what? The bills didn't stop coming. The bills didn't stop coming. I got to process how I got to process. I got to go to work just like everybody else have to go to work when they lose a loved one. And I'm figuring out therapy. And I'm fine. So, I love y'all and thank y'all for watching. And I just appreciate all the love and support. And lay on this couch and watch CNN. Or find something to watch. I wish Below Deck was on. I love watching that. It's one of my favorite reality shows. Around boats and water. I love all y'all and I appreciate y'all. So I'm about to order me a pizza because I had a Tombstone pizza in there and somebody and that shit gone. I don't know who ate it. I don't remember nobody making no pizza, but I had a Tombstone. And so I'm gonna order me a medium pizza and go to bed. Love you too, Jerron. Yeah, Keisha, you should watch that. That's a good reality show. Thank you, Michelle Green. Mark Mack, what up, man? And all my fellow boaters. Panja, what's up? Love you too. Darian, what up, Q dog? Yeah, but if you gonna order pizza, man, I like the crust to be real crispy. I don't like no soggy crust. Yeah, Jared, I'm ready too. I'm going to Florida next weekend, that's for sure. Taking my whole family down. We rented an Airbnb. And yeah, Captain Sandy, Keisha, I didn't know you watched that. Yeah, I love Captain Sandy, man. She don't play. And then I like the man captain with the gray beard. He pretty cool. But yeah, Corey, I'm finna order me a pizza. I'll post a picture on Facebook when I see it. So now I love y'all. Phi Beta Sigma, what's up, Ross Bell? 1914 Blue 5, what up, baby? All right, man, y'all be good, man. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good night.